Hello and welcome to tonight's matchup between the 3-1 Kapaun Mount Carmel Crusaders and the 0-3 Wichita West Pioneers. I'm Andrew Greer, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host
Grayson Greer.
And Grayson, coming to this matchup, KMC falling to Bishop Carroll in a tough loss on Tuesday night. Tell me a little bit about this KMC offense.
Yeah, this KMC offense has been led all year by number 51, Zoe Buckner. She had averaged 30-plus in the first 3 games, but slowed down last game in that loss.
And KMC will start with the ball, and that's her right there, Zoe Buckner, number 51 on your screen. She's going to be a girl to watch tonight as she dishes that one off to number 13, Maddie Spears, as she gets the first points of tonight. Then we'll have number 23, Phoebe Loffer along the wing. 42, Ella Rudy in the paint. She will be a big defensive presence. And rounding off this lineup, number 22, Ellie Knipp. She can shoot from the perimeter.
Yeah, and the starting lineup for the West High Pioneers tonight are going to be number 1, Cambry Parker, number 11, Aaliyah Hernandez, number 21, Naria Harris, number 22, Amaya Jones, and number 30, Kennedy Kambongsa.
And Grayson, this West team has struggled to score over 13 points in a game thus far. Not 13 points in a quarter, 13 points in the entire game. That's 4 quarters combined. 13 points is their max. And so we're going to see if they can update their scoring output tonight. Already a little shaky on offense from the Pioneers. And Buckner forcing that one out of bounds.
Yeah, and last year, a dominant victory for the Crusaders against this West High team, 74-5. So lots of younger girls getting some playing time, and hopefully Kapaun looking to bounce back after that loss last week and looking to improve in areas where they struggled.
And Grayson, I remember calling that game with you. It was a difficult one, and we're going to see how this one goes tonight, if it'll be similar or how this Kapaun team will play. Buckner leading her team up the court, out to Knipp on the perimeter. Loffer back to Spears. Spears for 3, no good. Excuse me. That one good for Spears. That one looked like it would bounce out. A little early call on my part. Spears can definitely shoot, and West does not look like they're putting the pressure on her, so KMC will keep feeding her the ball. And getting around the court is the Pioneers in the paint. A bit of a forced shot from Kambongsa, the senior. And KMC will take it the other way.
And Buckner Franklin held to 17 points last game against the Golden Eagles of Bishop Carroll, and that is a high point total, but low for her so far this season. Spears is no good on 3. It's an offensive foul will be called on Buckner. But Buckner definitely being slowed down, double teamed every time that she touched the ball last game against Bishop Carroll. Obviously, the Golden Eagles heading in with that game plan of trying to defend the high-scoring threat of Zoe Buckner.
And Grayson, going into the playoffs, that's something KMC is going to need to work on, and going in the later season is finding. Now, Buckner is a very dominant player, and when she's hot, she is hitting those shots. But they're going to need to find maybe a second option if a similar situation happens like what happened in Bishop Carroll on Tuesday. They're going to need to find that number 2 scoring option.
Yeah, and I think last year the Kapaun team did a better job of just utilizing every girl on the court than they have so far this year. Obviously, Buckner Franklin making those scoring surges, but once she was kind of taken out as an option, the Crusaders struggling to find something else, coming short to the Golden Eagles 50-58.
And we're seeing Spears scoring a lot. She has all these points for KMC tonight, 7. And she's looking to get off to a hot start. And Kambongsa to inbound for West. She'll be the point guard tonight, handling the ball. Hernandez guarded by Spears. KMC keeping the pressure on early, trying to force incompletions like that. And Orr will take it the other way to Knip. And Knip no good on the layup. And Rudy, third chance opportunity, no good. Rebounded by West. And West having some dribbling problems after that KMC miss.
And Rudy has struggled under the rim so far this game. Many attempts, but no good on most of them. As Orr puts up a shot, and she's a new face on the court as she quickly replaced Zoe Buckner in this one, as Buckner picked up 2 fouls quickly. So you have another substitution in for the Crusaders. That'll be number 15, Gracie Bezdek, in for number 42, Ella Rudy. And I think we'll see a lot of substitutions throughout this one. The Crusaders trying to get all sorts of girls playing time, as I think they know they will have a grasp on this one.
Yeah, KMC wasting no time to get new players, and they're kind of looking at that score from last year. 70-5 is what you said. And they're like, we're not gonna let this game progress before we can get this other talent some playing time.
Yeah, and I think if you look back at last year's victory by 69 points, I mean, that's just an insane point total. And just, you got to give it to those West girls for still going out there and playing, doing their best. But definitely an opportunity for this Kapaun team who's looking to improve on their record after that last loss against Carroll, to really test out some new things, get some girls some experience on the court, see what they can do. And I think head coach Will Ingles had that at the top of his mind coming into this one. As we resume play here.
And Kennedy to inbound for the Pioneers. Guarded tightly. Knip almost getting a hand on that one. And pass no good from Jones. That one out of bounds.
And that pass was hit out of bounds off the foot of Phoebe Lawfer, another key player for this Crusaders squad. She played a good game last game against the Golden Eagles of Bishop Carroll.
And tipped by Knip. KMC will take it the other way. Spears leading her team up the court. Out to Orr on the perimeter. Double teamed. West showing some physicality. And Knip making a move to Orr. And wow. West taking it the other way. Putting that pressure on early proves to be a good move. And the three no good. That one coming from Harris.
And number 42, Caitlin Jones, will be called for an off-ball foul for the rebound under the basket, as Knip will bring it down the court for the Crusaders. Another key player, not just on the scoring side of things, but defensively a big hustler and always getting assists and rebounds for this Crusader squad.
And Orr's pass is tipped by Kennedy. And Spears will inbound for the Crusaders. Knip at the top of the key. Out to Spears, back to Knip. And KMC utilizing their passing and working on some of that, as Knip is good from three, her first points of the night. KMC leading by 10.
And a deep three from Knip there, showing her range here early. As we know, she can shoot from that distance.
And that shot looked as smooth as butter for the junior. And Knip once again on the layup. Good. And she will get an and one opportunity.
Yeah, an early 12-point lead here. Chance to make it 13 by the Crusaders. As number 22, Amaya Jones, will check in. And for the Crusaders. Spears and Lawford checking out of the game.
And Knipp no good on her free throw, but grabbing her own rebound, something we don't see too often. Or to Rudy and Lawfer. Excuse me, that was Gracie Bezdek, excuse me.
And I think something this Crusader girls team does better than the guys team is actually following their own shots. They tend to get a lot more offensive boards, a lot more second chances. But where they have struggled is on defensive rebounding. It's definitely something they've looked to improve on and have improved on.
And Orr no good on the mid-ranger, but Rudy on the second chance opportunity, she is good. Her first points of the night. And KMC leading by 14 with 2:10 left in the first quarter of play. Grayson, this one seems to be flying by. And three, no good from Harris.
And Harris has put up a couple of those attempts off the mark on both, but definitely trying to get that shot to fall to get the first points of the game for the Pioneers as they will inbound under their own basket here.
And Kennedy to inbound for West. And off the hands of Jones on the ground, KMC fighting for it. And that'll be West ball. Now Grayson, something that is interesting. West, their cheerleaders, they do seem to bring the energy, unlike this basketball team. Very different. Both these two different, they're opposites of each other.
Yeah, while I was sitting here writing my notes during the game, they were practicing. It was very interesting to listen to. Lots of stomping with their style. It definitely brings some noise into the building that we don't have currently.
Yeah, they're the bright spot coming from West High tonight. And Buckner picking it up off the ground, taking it the other way. And Buckner unable to finish, but she will be sent to the line. 2 shots for the the sophomore.
Yeah, and Kambongsa does not seem happy about that foul call. I think that's just one she'll have to take as Buckner drives strong into the lane. That is a big part of her game. And trying to capitalize on these free throws, another spot where the Crusaders have struggled throughout the season, something that they could have used in their last game to maybe bring that gap a little bit closer and just not getting the fall.
And Buckner's second off the mark. And Kennedy will take it the other way for the Pioneers. Inside is Jones. Jones throwing up a shot off the backboard, no good, rebounded by Spears. And Buckner on the perimeter, taking it inside, fouled. That one coming from Amaya Jones, her first personal foul of the night.
And the Crusaders will enter the bonus here in the first quarter as that was the 5th team foul for the Pioneers.
And you know, Grayson, Zoe Buckner out there, she's making these free throw attempts look effortless. Almost like her shot like as smooth as butter out there.
Yeah, and definitely a part of everybody's game that they want to be automatic from the line. And that's something that coaches obviously want. Any opportunity in close games like the last one that you can take advantage of is something big as the Crusaders lead by 17 here.
And Harris guarded by Buckner off to her teammate. And West still struggling with their dribbling as that one goes out of bounds. Looked to be poked out by Pfister. Kennedy to inbound for the Pioneers. And the jump shot off the backboard. That one coming from Hernandez, the sophomore.
Yeah, and a chance for the first points for the Pioneers here as Aaliyah Hernandez will shoot. And the sophomore is good on her first attempt.
And West gets their first points of the night as they let Kapaun score 18 unanswered. And the second one, no good for Hernandez. And Hamilton, the sophomore, dished it off to Rudy. And Rudy, second chance opportunity, Pfister for three. And off the mark. And Rudy will be sent to the line.
Yeah, and this West High team off to a rough start this year, disappointing as they started the year 0-3. Their most recent loss, just like the Crusaders coming against the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles, except theirs was a little bit less close. They came up short 13-68 in that one.
A little bit better than when they played Kapaun last year, I will say. And Kennedy will take it the other way for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and the Crusader girls, they went 1-1 against the Golden Eagles last year, definitely pulling out a win at Carroll towards the end of the season, so definitely trying to pick up a win when we play the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles here, definitely wanting to redeem themselves.
And Kennedy, guarded by Spears and Buckner. Spears pokes that one out, and Buckner, the one-on-one opportunity. And no good on her first attempt as she finds a way to connect. And that will likely be the last points of the first quarter. KMC leading by 20, 21-1 against West High.
And if you're the West head coach, I think you just need to take advantage of this rest for the girls. Just try to figure out anything that you can take advantage of. I think we're just going to be in for a high-scoring game strictly on the Crusader side of the basketball.
And Grayson, today was the last day of finals for a lot of KMC students. Are you excited for Christmas break?
I am. I think it is definitely a well-needed rest for all KMC students at this point. I think we are all just kind of burned out, and this upcoming 3 weeks is definitely something that I will be looking forward to and taking advantage of.
And KMC students will return to school on the 6th of January, so quite a bit of time off for us. Are you doing anything interesting over your break?
I mean, just spending time with family and giving presents, receiving gifts, and yeah, I think just the typical Christmas things. It's a great time to spend with your family and just have a good time, especially away from the books of the school. So
indeed it is. And Kennedy will dish that one off to Harris, and over the head of Hernandez, hitting the KMC bench. They were not expecting that one.
Yeah, definitely kind of like a splash zone in those first few rows there. They were not expecting it. But I think sometimes players do fly into those. You got to be ready.
And Buckner triple teamed in the paint. Gets off a shot, but she'll be called for traveling. And West will take it the other way. And Jones will inbound to Kennedy, and she will take that one up.
And Knipp on the defense here. As the pass is quickly intercepted by Lawfer, bringing it down the court is Buckner. Quick pass to Knipp, and a nice layup will be no good. But a good passing job from the Crusaders. They had an open look there. Stoppage of play, but it will resume. Bezdek gets it to Laufer.
And Buckner to Orr on the perimeter. KMC called for another travel violation. And West will get possession.
Yeah, number 5, Lucy Keller checking in for the Crusaders in exchange for number 22, Ellie Knipp. Another sophomore looking to get some court experience here in this one. As a foul will be called on Keller. So definitely a quick foul. She stepped on the court there. Didn't seem to be too much contact.
And Parker to Harris. Back to Kennedy. And she will drive into the paint. The whistle will be called. And back to Kennedy as she will get a shot up. No good. The air ball on the layup. And Buckner will take it the other way for KMC. Getting that one to Laufer. No good. And a third chance opportunity for KMC. And it seems like KMC is stooping to West level tonight.
Yeah, I'd agree, and that's something that you can't do as a team. You have to play to your level and your expectations that you set for yourself. You can't slack because you're playing someone who you think is a lesser opponent versus somebody who you think is a higher opponent. You got to play your game, play to your strengths, and Crusaders playing some sloppy basketball so far, I think. Definitely disappointed as they have not been able to score here in the second quarter so far.
And I think when these teams go back to film and look at this recording of this game, they're going to really notice those changes and hopefully make some updates to their play style and their mentality going into the later season. And Buckner out to Laufer. No good on the easy jumper from the senior. And she will not connect on her second chance. And Orr will take it out. Reset for Kapaun. Laufer, no good. Her third miss of the possession. And Bezdek, no good. And KMC 5 straight misses. Wow. We do not see this too often, Grayson.
Yeah, and just kind of hard to watch. Crusaders doing a good job of getting those boards, getting those extra chances, but not being able to convert on them is something huge. And like we were saying, don't play down a level. Those things matter in big games when you need those things, when you need those easy shots to fall the most. You know, these moments are good ones to make sure that you're automatic from that area. You need to make sure you're executing to your highest level. And so far from the Crusaders, that is not what we have seen.
And so the question is tonight, is KMC, are these girls just exhausted from finals? Are they exhausted from the Carroll game? Did that kind of take the life out of their play style? Or are they really just truly stooping down to West level tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a great question. As I think, you can't take it is a big rivalry loss to that will weigh heavily on them, but you have to push through that. You can't let that affect you. It's in the past. It's in the books. Just you can't let that just destroy all of what you've built off those first 3 wins, those solid wins that you've had.
And Bezdek guarded tightly, gets it out to Rudy on the perimeter. And back to Pfister, and for 3, that's Bezdek, no good. And Kennedy will take it the other way for the Pioneers. Pfister with the steal all alone on the breakaway. No good. A rare miss from Pfister when she's wide open. And she'll get a second chance opportunity from 3, no good. Rudy grabbing the board, tightly covered, can't put one up.
And I just want to mention here, we are scoreless in the second quarter from both sides of the ball. Crusaders getting nothing, Pioneers getting nothing. As Bezdek will check out of the game for the Crusaders in exchange for number 3, Avery Hamilton.
And Grayson, when I'm watching this game, I can't tell if it's this West defense or if it's just KMC's inability to make a shot.
I'd say I'd lean more towards the second option there, as they've had good looks, they've had open opportunities, but they've just played sloppily, as we see there with the overthrown pass, trying to squeeze that into double coverage. I mean, that's playing quarterback 101. You don't throw into double coverage. So why would you do it on the basketball court? I don't know.
And Kennedy will take it up once again for the Pioneers. And West, they've had solid ball movement, some sloppy passes, but they've been able to get it to their players. But Kapaun will take it the other way on that air ball. Pfister, good. And McCoy Pfister will get her first points of the night. That one coming from a breakaway layup.
And finally, some action. Finally, a shot that falls through the rim in the second quarter. We've been waiting, and we finally get our answer. So definitely excited to see that.
And that pass going out of bounds from Kennedy. Pfister will inbound for KMC.
And I think when we talk about the Crusaders not being able to make those shots, there's just such a lack of energy behind this team. I think they just need to play at a better pace, play their game. As Hamilton hits the 3, be her first points of the night. And it'll be the Pioneers to bring down the court again. 3.5 left to play here in second quarter.
And one thing to note, Grayson, both these teams, they just kind of look slouched over when they're getting down the court. KMC, they're hustling on plays, and Pfister good on the breakaway layup, but you can kind of tell they're playing a little sluggish tonight. Yeah,
definitely. I think in terms of percentage of how hard they're playing or how much effort they're giving, say we're about 50, 60%. I won't even say that 75. Just jogging everywhere. But I think as a player it is hard to find that will to play hard. As the Crusaders will get the ball again here, but you just came off, as you mentioned, a long week of finals, lots of testing. I mean, with the lack of seniors here, these juniors, sophomores, freshmen are taking every test we have. So timeout will be called here by West. Looking forward, Andrew. Tomorrow, Notre Dame and Indiana play. College football on this weekend, and then basketball. We're right into college basketball season, so lots happening in the sports world. And that goes for here at KMC too. So winter sports are starting to begin. Bowling, boys swim, and dive. So definitely lots happening as the boys swim and dive team winning city last year and the past couple of years. New coach coming in this year. Definitely looking to have a great year. Again, top performers like guys Henry Stanichka, Robbie Richardson, just to name a couple, but guys that go out there and are performers in the swimming pool.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Do you think you'll be attending any of those other competitions?
Man, I don't know. I don't know how much I'd enjoy watching bowling. Maybe some swim. I've been to a swim event before. It's fun. You got the energy in the place. Just smells a lot like chlorine in there. So just be ready for that if you are going to attend.
You're exactly right. And West off the mark on the 3. Spears will take it the other way. And the floater, good. Spears has 12. And while we were talking about swimming and other sports, Spears got down there, hitting a big 3 for KMC to get her up to 12 points. And Kennedy, high off the backboard, rebounded by Rudy. Kennedy, she's not losing her fight tonight. She's playing physical on both ends and continuing to hustle.
I think Kennedy's kind of been like the minister of defense for this Pioneers squad, as she has been out there hustling. As Andrew said, the sophomore the senior not giving up and just giving her all, which is what you like to see. She's out there to play. She is doing so.
And going through 4 years in this West program, I bet it's been difficult for her, and she continues to give it her all each and every game, so that's something that we applaud.
Yeah, and I think definitely a tough experience. I think that put a lot of people in a mental ward, just having to deal with loss after loss, but to show that level of fight and commitment to a team is just an impressive trait to have.
And whistle will be called. Spears will inbound for KMC. And Jones will check in for the Pioneers for Anaya Jones. Jones for Jones. And Buckner getting the ball. The deep pass to Knipp. Knipp with the floater, good. And Ellie Knipp has 7 on the night.
And I think everybody's starting to see the redundant theme in this one so far. Crusaders get a basket, get a stop on defense. As we wind down here in the first half, Buckner makes another layup, giving her her 7th point of the game. And Spears, the leading scorer so far here for the Crusaders, starting out with the Crusaders 7 points and continuing her success beyond that.
And Loffer, the easy steal, pass to Knipp, and Knipp is good. She is 9 on the night.
And talk about another sport that puts in a lot of work. We're talking about these other sports. Stick around for the halftime show put on by the KMC Pommies. They put a lot of effort into their dances. They're practicing every morning to put on a show for all of you. So definitely show them some support and stick around for halftime.
And that Pommies show, that's kind of just a little sample of all the work that they put in the entire season. They do a great job here at KMC. And as the half ends, KMC finally putting some points on the board, 40-1. Cannot say the same thing for West, as these two teams will talk things over in the locker room. Hopefully West can put up some more points. And we'll see you after the break. Hello and welcome back from the halftime break as KMC well in the driver's seat tonight, up by 39 against the West Pioneers. KMC starting out with some quick passing. Loffer, no good from the mid-range, and Buckner good on the putback. KMC coming with 10 offensive rebounds in the first half of play. That one was their first of the second half.
Yeah, and Kapaun not shooting well from the field so far. 36% in the first half. Doesn't sound that bad, but if you watch the first half, definitely many attempts that they should have been putting in and not able to capitalize on those as much as they should have.
And the quick pass, good from Buckner. A miss, and Buckner getting the second chance opportunity. She has 13 on the night. And out of Kennedy's hands, going the other way, Knipp to Buckner. Buckner, good. And Buckner kind of taking control of this game out of half. She already has 6 points.
And definitely those breakaway layups, something Crusaders struggled with a few times in the first half, and obviously already improving on those.
Kennedy for three, off the mark, and KMC will take it the other way. Spears, good. And Spears able to weave through that defense, showing her excellent ball handling ability. Spears headed to Fort Hays State next year for basketball. So we're excited for the future for her.
Yeah, definitely. Always good for a kid out of Kapaun to continue their athletic career at the collegiate level. So good for her, and good luck for her future.
And Parker on the perimeter, guarded by Buckner, and off the hands of Hernandez.
And in for the Crusaders, we have Evie Romer. Will be number 12, younger sister of the senior last year that graduated, Lizzie Romer, a key player for the Crusaders, as Lizzie Romer has continued her athletic career at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, getting playing time there so far this year, as we see Evie following in her footsteps on this Crusaders team.
And before that timeout, Zoe Buckner getting her 17th point of the night as these two teams talk things over and see how they're doing.
Yeah, and I think as we see Evie coming out onto the court, you got to think that maybe some of these younger girls will start to get some playing time. And for West, doing a good job of staying active on defense, staying in front of the Kapaun offensive players, but Kapaun doing a good job of getting passing, not so much just dribbling and holding onto the ball, but trying to move the ball around as a team, and definitely working on a point that they struggled on last game.
And coming out of the timeout, KMC looking to just keep what they're doing. All right, keep improving, keep pushing that ball, keep up their excellent passing that they had coming out of the half, limit turnovers. And for West, definitely limit turnovers, 23 in the first half, a staggeringly large number for them. And I'm sure their coach lectured them in the locker room, helping them work through some of those problems, and I'm sure we'll see them improve in this half.
Yeah, and definitely something that so far they're doing a good job of holding on to the ball, making good passes. So definitely coming out with energy in this half, which is good to see.
That one coming off the hands of Knipp as she poked it out of bounds. Kennedy to inbound for the Pioneers. Harris taking it up. Parker and Romer hits that one to Buckner, and Romer in the paint off her hands. And West will take it the other way.
Yeah, and just slipping off the hands, kind of bouncing around off the hands of the Crusaders players. Just some sloppy play there. Definitely something that greatly affected them. And their only loss so far this season, but something that hopefully they're able to look at in film from this game and previous and really look at that and point it out as a weak spot and something they need to improve.
Buckner for 3 and off the mark, rebounded, and KMC will reset. Spears to Knipp. Back to Spears, that one wide right. And a new group will check in for the Crusaders. That one looks to be Hamilton or Bezdek. McCoy Pfister and Lucy Keller. All new faces.
Yeah, and just putting a fresh lineup out on the court is always good to do. Get some fresh bodies, lots of energy in that.
And Pfister hit the ref as she was diving for that ball. Luckily, it will be KMC possession.
Yeah, and she looks to be okay. She hit the scorer's table pretty hard there. Doesn't seem to be any problem for her. She kicks it to Keller.
And Orr double teamed by the Pioneers off the side of the backboard.
Yeah, and I think she was obviously aiming that pass for Pfister. The ball just clipping the side of the backboard there.
And West will get another chance to add some points onto the board. Still scoreless in the first half and the second quarter. Wow, over the head of Jones and out of bounds. Rough passing from the Pioneers.
And it looks like it will stay with the Pioneers. Tipped. The pass is tipped by Crusaders player heading out of bounds. So Kamvongza will
and 3 off the mark as shot clock winds down. Barely getting that one off was Aaliyah Hernandez.
And it looks to be West basketball. I think Crusader touching the ball while their foot was out of bounds. I think some confusion on the Crusader end as the shot clock went off, but the ball hit the rim, so you still have to go recover it.
And turning a corner. That one was Harris as whistle is called. Cabrini Orr with her first personal foul of the night. Inbounding is Kennedy. And wow, that one right to Lucy Keller. Avery Hamilton with the easy layup.
And as Kamvongza will bring the ball down for the Pioneers, the Crusaders in a zone defense here. Something that they do seem to run pretty consistently. They do run man as well, as Orr will intercept that pass, bring it down the court, gets it to Pfister, but a foul will be called from the ref coming down the court. Looks to be on West High. That is the second personal foul on Cambry Parker, as Bezdek and Hamilton will check out of the game in exchange for Hope Garner and Ella Rudy.
And West will take it the other way. Kennedy with the ball, back to Harris, and Kennedy. Some excellent passing from the Pioneers as Parker's shot at the end is no good.
And Garner with the shot. That is a freshman who has not seen any time on the varsity court this year, but getting her first look here.
And Kennedy off the foot, a fister. Stopping the clock, and some new faces will check in. That's Zoe Buckner, Evie Romer, and Phoebe Loffer.
Yeah, and definitely trying to get some of these young girls some experience here, as Pfister seems to be checked out, having maybe a bleeding elbow or something.
And Clara Hahn, the transition layup.
And that is Hope Garner. Sorry for that exchange, wearing number 33, previously held by Claire Hawker before she stepped off the team. So just a small mix-up there, but the freshman trying to take advantage of this opportunity to be on the varsity court, so good for her as Kamvangza will shoot. So first attempt will fall.
And Kennedy, no good on her second, getting West's second point of the night and first of the second half. Buckner quickly taking it down the court to Romner for three. Off the mark, and Buckner good on the second chance opportunity. She is 19. And just under 50 seconds left in the third quarter. And Hernandez guarded by Romner and Loffer. Romner poking that one out. And whistle eventually called. Hernandez with the ball. Guarded by Romer. And inside Parker. She'll force a shot. No good. Off the backboard, rebounded by Loffer.
And there's no shot clock here as 22 seconds remain. Foul will be called as Rudy, no good on the put back, but she will get fouled. She will shoot two. That's the second personal foul on Amaya Jones.
And Rudy off the mark on her first free throw attempt. Rudy good on her second. That's her fourth point of the night.
And as we see this lineup on the court, a pretty young lineup in the front court. So we have a sophomore and two freshmen. And so those young players are going to play a key role in the future of this team, as the two seniors, Loffer and Rudy, done their time, these veteran players.
And Buckner, the last second shot, almost in, a little bit to the right, as these two teams will talk things over going into the fourth quarter of play. Grayson, kind of walk me through what you've seen out of Kapaun so far.
I think Kapaun has done a better job of playing with more energy in the second half, as we look to begin this fourth quarter, I think they need to continue that. Playing well are the freshmen, making themselves known. Rummer getting herself in there with a couple of steals on defense. Garner with the easy layup. With those girls getting experience, doing their best to contribute. And I think if you're West, just continue to fight as they have done so well so far this game. Just to keep their heads in it. I think that's what you just look to continue to do as we resume play in the fourth quarter. But definitely just a tough environment, and you're playing a tough team. This Crusader team has lots of experience, and just definitely a tough feeling to take in what's happening right now.
And Hernandez will inbound for the Pioneers. Kennedy taking the ball up. And Parker trying to find an open teammate. Hernandez guarded tightly by Hamilton. And Harris off her hand, but she collects the ball. And pass intended for Kennedy, but Knipp forced that one out of bounds.
I'd like to say another sophomore checking in here for the Crusaders. That is number 25, Kennedy Gonzalez. So another young player getting experience here. Just something that you need as a team to get those players experience so they can succeed in the future when they do need to step up and fill a role.
And West with the shot clock violation. A little bit too much time dribbling and looking for a teammate that they forgot to shoot.
Yeah, and definitely just something that all teams in the Greater Wichita Athletic League have just somewhat struggled to get used to. In the last game against the Golden Eagles, the Crusaders and the Eagles both having a shot clock violation. I think only one each. But just something that you have to get used to. You got to get the ball up, be aware of the time as you have the shot clock displayed above both hoops. Just something that you have to be aware of on top of all the other things.
And Hernandez will get a shot up off the mark, and that one rebounded by Keller. And Spears will take the other way for KMC. Spears has 14 on the night, second highest scorer for KMC. And Spears in the corner for three. Off the rim and rebounded by Harris. That one intended for Kennedy. Kennedy eventually resets and gets a pass off back to Harris. Hernandez for three. Good! And, excuse me, that was only 2 points, but Hernandez able to nail a shot and get on the board for
and just
the Pioneers.
Quick substitution change. Crusaders changing their whole lineup. Just getting everybody their time on the court so far. But a good shot there from Aaliyah Hernandez. And she has 3 points on the night, so good for her. And that one just was good off the hand. It's just one of the shots that you track, and it was good.
And Romer will inbound for the Crusaders. And Orr to Buckner. Buckner finding her footing inside off the mark. And second chance opportunity good from Lawfer.
I think Buckner and Spears both big scores tonight. Spears has 14 as she's currently sitting on the bench getting a rest. And Buckner with 19. So 2 leading scores for the Crusaders tonight.
And Lawfer to Buckner, the big pass. Buckner good. on the layup, showing off a move in the paint. She is 21. And Kennedy surveying the court. Hernandez with the ball double teamed. And Harris off her hands, trying to find a teammate. That one eventually off of Loffer.
And that will remain West basketball, as two sophomores will check back in as Lucy Keller and Kennedy Gonzalez. As West to inbound with 3:15 left to play here, as Orr steals it. Running down the court trying for the layup, and it is good. The basket will fall for number 2, Cabrini Orr, the senior, with plenty of experience, a defensive hustler for this Crusader squad.
And a deep three coming from Kennedy, rebounded by Romer.
That was a good attempt, slightly off the mark, but definitely close from that range. Not an easy shot to make.
And three from Keller, no good, rebounded by Orr.
And that three was attempted by Gracie Besdeck. And no good from her. She's trying to throw her attempt up. As Orr will check out of the game for the Crusaders in exchange again for the freshman number 33, Hope Garner.
And Romer for three off the rim. Fighting for that one was Pfister. And KMC setting up another possession. Harris fighting for that one. Taking the other way in transition. No good on the layup and poked out.
That was a good steal and breakaway attempt, poking it loose from the hands of Lucy Keller. Just that layup barely slipping off the rim there, but I thought it was going to roll in. But a great defensive play and turnaround there.
And Romer on the perimeter. Gardner to Keller and to Besdeck inside. Besdeck no good in the paint. And with just under a minute 15, KMC leading 63-4. Both these teams looking to put up some last minute points. Kennedy to inbound. And trying to find some space either to shoot it. And Hernandez just off the mark. Looking for her second deep shot of the night. And Kennedy poking that one out. Harris taking the other way. Guarded by Besdeck. And the whistle called as under 10 seconds, clock will continue to run. And this game will likely end.
As this game comes to an end, that will be a big win for the Crusaders. Cape and Mount Carmel 63, West High Pioneers 4. And please join us again after the break for the matchup for the men's game, Capen versus West. I'm Grayson Greer.
And I'm Andrew Greer, and thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to tonight's matchup between the 3-1 Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders against the 0-3 West Pioneers. I'm Andrew Greer, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host
Grayson Greer.
And Grayson, coming into tonight's matchup, KMC comes in with a big loss to Bishop Carroll on Tuesday night, 52-56. And we're going to see how this KMC team can bounce back and try to gain their season momentum back.
Yeah, and definitely trying to bounce back here. Disappointing loss. They were favored heavily going into that game. And just Carroll played to their best ability and just beat this Crusader team, put simply. Definitely looking to avenge themselves tonight. Head coach Steve Eck going to push this team hard.
This KMC team very talented. Well, let's see what they can do tonight against the Pioneers. And Erlacher tips that one to West, and they will start with the possession. Laws handling the ball, passing that one off to Hoskins, guarded tightly by Erlacher, poked out of the air by Keller, but Hoskins gets it out of the air and back for the easy layup. And starting for KMC, that's Corbin Johnson getting off to Jude Porter, the junior, and poked out. Putting the pressure on early was Wilson, unable to connect on the layup, but KMC trying to settle in again. Hoskins putting the pressure on early. Dalian, the sophomore, to check in for KMC to Erlacher, and back to Johnson, and that's Rocco Keller on the wing. And Keller trying to find a shot, the floater, no good.
And as West holds on to this early lead, their starting five consists of number 1, Caleb Mahomes, the senior, number 12, Christian Laws, a junior, number 13, Trail Wilson, another senior, Anthony Carrasco, a senior, and number 23, Delano Hoskins, another senior. So a veteran lineup so far for the Pioneers.
And as you were setting out the lineup, Blaze Dalian hit a ginormous three to give KMC the lead, but coming back, answering that trifecta was Christian Laws, the 6'3 junior for West, as the Pioneers currently control the lead. Erlacher finding Johnson on the cut, good. The senior gets his first points of the night.
And it seems that this one's going to be a fast-paced offensive matchup, so definitely something to be excited for going forward.
And Mahomes guarded by Johnson, and keeping along the wing is West. Back to Laws, and out back to the perimeter off the foot of Anthony Carrasco as he corrals that one. Laws, the floater off the backboard, good, as Christian Laws has 5 points.
And this West team looking to pick up their first win of the season as they've started 0-3. And it will be an early timeout here from head coach Steve Eck. And West coming out strong. A quick points from Laws for the Pioneers. And just coming out strong, pushing it on offense, kind of playing the game the way Kapaun usually plays, coming out quick on offense, attack you with their speed. And as I say, this West team is looking for their first win of the season, but I think they are a lot better than their record shows. They're going to put up a fight in this one, and not a team that you can just glance over on a schedule. You have to game plan around the skill and talent that West produces on the court.
And if we go back to last year, Grayson, this team came out firing early in the first half of play, and that's something that they usually try to do. They try to gain that momentum early, and they were putting the pressure on KMC. But when it came to that second half, we really saw which team was better conditioned and more prepared to play that longer, more physical game. And KMC ended up coming out on top and holding West tight in the second half. So we'll kind of see how that plays out.
A weird sequence of events there as Porter was blocked and then recovered the save on the block, but no good on the multiple opportunities they had, and that's something that was really killing them in their past couple of games.
And Johnson good on the transition layup. This game tied at 7 apiece. And Laws guarded by Keller. Getting it off to Wilson. Wilson, the spin back to Hoskins. And the floater good from the senior Delano Hoskins.
And so far the Crusaders haven't been able to take a lead, as the Pioneers have done a great job on offense. They haven't exactly had the answer on defense. That will be a 30-second timeout. But this West team coming out attacking those weak points of the Crusaders. Crusaders so far out rebounding but not able to take advantage of those second opportunities. And as we mentioned before the game, leading up into this, the Crusaders taking an L that is definitely weighing heavily on them to the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles, that big crosstown rival in the Holy War, as they fell 52-56, losing by 4, putting Kapaun at 3-1 on the year. But I think a reality check for this Crusader team, as they have to come back down to earth, starting 3-0, kind of high on themselves. But I think they really need to play better.
And Corey Daniels checking in for KMC along with Jordan Mangu, who gets a steal there. And we've seen a lot from the sophomore Jordan Mangu as the season has progressed. He's able to score on transition and from the perimeter. And Jude Porter, after his layup, getting the steal there, but a whistle is called. Jude Porter on the court. He's a very quick, physical player. He will be exactly where you need him to be at each and every play.
And Laws was called, I think, on an offensive foul there, so the Crusaders maintain ball. Johnson's blocked.
And Daniels trying to find space, moves around the basket, no good, but he'll be sent to the line.
The Pioneers so far doing a great job is trying to defend their rim. Crusaders going up with layups and a couple of blocks here already. One on Porter for the three-pointer in the corner, and then a couple under the rim. So doing their best to defend the rim, but they did catch the hand of Daniels there.
And Daniels will be shooting the first free throws of the night for KMC. His first one gets knocked down.
And Daniels playing quite a bit of time in their previous matchup against the Golden Eagles, but not shooting much, not going for the basket, but contributing in other ways on the court. But he has his 2 first points of the night.
And West already trying to play at a faster pace from the inbound, as they're quickly stopped from the personal foul from Mangu.
Delano Hoskins receiving the pass there as they're trying to push it down the court quickly, just running into Mangu. Mangu without his feet set, being called for the foul.
Terrell Wilson taking the ball up for the Pioneers, guarded tightly by Jude Porter. Looking for an open man. That's Mahomes. Out to the perimeter. And Mahomes to Haskins. And West continuing to make some good passes as the shot clock running down. 5 seconds. And forcing a shot. That was Wilson. Jarring the whistle. Or excuse me. KMC will take it the other way.
And that is the first personal foul on Caleb Mahomes, as Daniels will bring it down court for the Crusaders.
Porter on the perimeter, making a move. The spin, the jumper, no good. Rebounded by Matthews.
And one of the key parts of the Crusader offense is driving into the lane and pulling up on those quick fadeaways. But West able to stop it there.
Carrasco out to the perimeter. Had Daniels beat for a second. And Porter showing off his speed, taking the offense by surprise and getting the easy layup, as he has 4. And Daniels forcing the ball out from Carrasco as he looks for a call.
It seems to be last touched by the Pioneers too, so the Crusaders will maintain possession. So they have added the press early on in this matchup, as Porter will check out after being highly productive for the Crusaders.
Daniels on the perimeter to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Hoskins as he gets a whistle.
And that is the first personal foul called on Hoskins, team fourth of the quarter with 2.5 left to play here.
Johnson, the quick shot, good. And Corbin Johnson has 6. KMC leading 17-9 with just under 2:30 left in the first. And West looks to have fallen off their quick pace, not able to keep up with KMC. On the perimeter, Laws out to Hoskins. Good for 3. Delano Hoskins. He has 7. And Daniels to Mangu. Mangu tripped up as he hits the court hard.
That was kind of like a cartoonish fall there. Limbs everywhere, but taking the hard hit. The Crusaders enter the bonus here in the first quarter. Mangu looking to get his first points of the night on the board.
Mangu knocks down his first. KMC shooting 100% from the charity stripe tonight.
And checking in for the Crusaders, number 12, Owen Herlocker, number 15, Blaze Dalian, as Corbin Johnson and Corey Daniels will take a seat.
And Mangu will not connect on his second, as Erlocker will grab the rebound and hit the spin around step back. And that's Erlocker's first points of the night.
And that shot has been a big part of Herlocker's game so far this year. He's able to hit that from mid-range anywhere around the court.
And Laws guarded by Erlocker. Off the foot of his teammate, but West corrals it. Hoskins for 3. He made one already, no good on his second attempt. Erlocker fighting on the ground for it, and he will take it the other way. Mangu back to Dalian. And KMC out to the perimeter. Stuhlstotz for 3 as he knocks out his first points of the night.
And Stuhlstotz is a sophomore that has been seeing the court a little bit throughout the season, every game, and able to get that 3 to come to fruition for himself.
An excellent ball movement and play progression for KMC tonight. They've been able to let their plays develop and let those offensive possessions shine through. And just under 40 seconds left in the first. Shot clock winding down. No good, off the mark from Christian Laws. And Stuhlstotz will get it to Erlocker in the paint. The step, no good on the layup. 20 seconds now for West to put some points on the board. 23-12, KMC leading. And Laws, the pass, good. That coming from Henry Allen. And the last second shot, Mangu, no good, off the back of the rim.
Yeah, and at the end of the first quarter here, the Crusaders leading by 9, as West not able to keep up the pace as much as they were before the couple of timeouts by the Crusaders. But still keeping this game within 9, finding their own opportunities at offense, and able to capitalize on those opportunities more often than not. And definitely just doing a good, solid job. Definitely need to find a way to try to slow down the Crusaders on offense as much as possible, as defensively they have been getting weaved around, but definitely doing all right. And as we will resume play here in this one, the start of the second quarter, Crusaders have a comfortable lead of 9. But as we saw in their last matchup against Bishop Carroll, if you were there to watch that, Crusaders led by 8 early on, capped off by Corbin Johnson getting up, flying for a huge dunk. But then Carroll came right back, storming right back, and held on to the lead for the rest of that game mostly. So definitely need to continue to execute at a high level.
And Keller will take it up for KMC, out to Johnson. Back to Keller. Finding his footing, the spin, no good on the layup. And that will be West, or KMC basketball.
To be off the leg of the West player, so Crusaders will maintain basketball as Keller will inbound from under Crusader rim.
And Johnson for 3, no good. Usually a shot Johnson is able to hit. And Hoskins guarded by Dalian. KMC able to shut down this West offense as Hoskins for 3, no good. Eventually landing out of bounds.
And Hoskins hasn't been able to let that one sink on the past couple of shots. He made that first 3 and hasn't been able to be as successful from beyond the arc since then.
And Wilson guarded by Johnson. And Hoskins finding Laws. And KMC keeping their tight defense, playing very physical. And Wilson intercepted by Johnson. Johnson, the deep pass to Porter. Porter, good on the layup.
And Porter is a guy that you want to look for as an outlet on a fast break at all times. Uses his speed to get down court, and it's hard to keep up with him.
And guarded tightly by Porter. On to Allen. And whistle called. Personal foul coming from the offense. That one on Tanner Carter, number 21, the freshman.
And good for the freshman to be getting in there and getting his playing experience.
And Johnson Urlacher. Back to Porter. KMC keeping it along the perimeter, letting the play develop. And Keller in to Dalian, out to Urlacher for 3, off the mark.
And with the ball bouncing off the rim and hitting the tether that races the goals, that is an instant out of bounds call. So it'll be West ball as the Crusaders continue to press.
And West whistle called. Blaze Dalian with the personal foul, his first of the night. KMC's first of the second.
And I think head coach Austin Macbeth is doing a great job. The young coach trying to push his team with speed, and so far has worked for them.
The big man Laws, no good on the 3. Johnson taking it the other way. Poked out by Carter. Carter, the freshman, resetting the possession for West. Poked out by Keller, and he's good on the transition layup.
Yeah, and Keller getting the get back on the quick steal quickly for the Crusaders.
Keller's first points of the night. And Laws to Carter. And Carter, he's been finding his own as a freshman. A bit shaky with travel right there, but he's been able to play some tight defense and hold his own.
And Colby Eck-Watkins will check in for West, along with number 10, Jeremiah Matthews. We've seen him so far quite a few times this game.
And Mengu to Porter. Inside. Keller, the spin, no good. And Urlacher, no good on the second chance. KMC still trying to find their shooting rhythm tonight. A few misses that they wish that they could have had back.
Yeah, and West definitely needs to try to get those boards and not give the Crusaders that many opportunities to get into the basket. They're definitely looking to improve on that, as Mengu is good on his first attempt. And definitely a chip on the shoulder of this Crusaders team after that loss. And so far, holding this 14-point lead here.
Mengu, no good on his second. And Hoskins hustling down the court for the Pioneers, as Mahomes looking for an open man. Hoskins, the jumper, no good. Rebounded by Porter, quickly taking it the other way. Porter leading this offense. Gets it out to Daniels. Daniels making a quick move into Urlacher. Good.
And the passing underneath the basket for the Crusaders so far has been good. A 5-second call on the inbound for the Pioneers. They have had trouble breaking the press from the Crusaders. So the inbound pass will be deflected out of bounds once again.
Daniels to Mengu. And Porter will take it out of the top of the key. And Daniels inside, the floater no good, grabbing his own rebound. And off the hands of Urlacher, Daniels saving it. And Keller will reset the possession. Urlacher finding an open man in Mengu. Mengu, the pump, good. Mengu has 4.
And I think we see this press continue from the Crusaders. I think it might come from a bit of frustration that is being held by Coach Steve Eck. Clearly frustrated with the loss last week and trying to push his players, as they saw that they aren't this impenetrable force that they thought they were after those first 3 wins. As we come into this timeout, I think if you're West, the score is starting to get away from you. Crusaders building upon their lead. I think defensively, they are getting beat, but they are getting some stops, but rebounding and taking advantage of more open opportunities that they get on offense, and also just trying to open up more lanes on the offensive side of the ball. But that's something the Crusaders have been good about all season, whether they're playing man, which I think is what they play most of the time, doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball.
And, you know, Grayson, I think KMC, they've done a great job of getting in the heads of West tonight. They kept them frustrated and making some wild passes, as we saw to end, or going in that timeout. Jude Porter going out there and hitting a ball out of bounds. KMC trying to be everywhere tonight, and they're really in the heads of West.
I think that's something that Kapaun is able to do, is be everywhere with the speed that they boast. I mean, you have a pair between Corey Daniels and Porter as he puts up the layup with the quick steal. I mean, those 2 guys can be anywhere within the blink of an eye. I think that's just something, especially when they're both on the court at the same time, that is just hard to work around.
Yeah, and Jude Porter, you can almost call him Inspector Gadget in a way. He's able to pull out all these different abilities, his defense, his speed, his shooting ability, his ball handling, and we've seen a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, and just a lot of all-around athletes for the Crusaders, as this team just continues to try to build upon their lead and maintain a firm grasp on this one.
And Laws will get that one up to Wilson. Back to Laws. And Laws from the perimeter. Back to Wilson. These two have been getting it back and forth to each other all night along the perimeter. Hoskins, under 10 left on the shot clock, trying to get up a shot. That's Wilson, no good. Fighting for the rebound was Daniels, but Hoskins on the second chance.
And a great job by Hoskins getting in there against 3 Kapaun defenders and fighting for that rebound and making good on the putback. Daniels will get the answer on the strong put-up. But I think you need to see more of what Hoskins has just did if you're the West High Pioneers, fighting for those rebounds, fighting for those second chance opportunities.
Trey Wilson guarded tightly by Daniels, off to Carrasco, guarded by Porter. Inside, back to Wilson. And Mahomes gets it to Hoskins. West playing a bit of hot potato night. Hoskins for 3, no good. The air ball rebounded by Stuhlstotz. And Porter looked like he was going to shoot it, but drives in the easy layup for the junior.
And I think everybody bought that pump fake in this gym, along with the West defenses. Porter just had a wide open lane to the basket. And definitely a foul there as the sophomore Mengu runs in to the back of the West High offense. Rocco Keller will check in exchange for the sophomore. Mengu picking up a second personal foul there. So it will be Laws to inbound for the Pioneers.
And Laws to Hoskins. Hoskins, the floater, no good, but a whistle called as Hoskins will be sent to the line.
And a solid and one attempt there as the basket did fall, slowly rolling in. And Hoskins has definitely been a key player so far for the Pioneers, an experienced senior. She stares down the student section after hitting the free throw.
And Porter to Stuhlstotz. KMC moving around along the perimeter. Johnson tried to go on the end around, and that one was poked out of bounds. Daniels to inbound for the Crusaders. Johnson double teamed inside, the floater, good. Cooper Johnson has 8. West moving quickly. Hoskins, the spin back out to Carrasco as they reset. Inside Mahomes, that one good.
And it's just some textbook passing there. Just making that extra pass for the easy bucket. Just a great job as Johnson puts the defender in the spin cycle for the bucket. But West definitely doing a better job since that timeout of finding opportunities on offense for an easy bucket.
And Laws guarded by Stuhlstotz. Laws finding Hoskins. Under a minute left in the second quarter. Laws trying to get some points on the board before halftime. Hoskins for 3, no good. KMC leading by 20. Daniels. Pass to Stuhlstotz. Into Porter, good. And Porter
looks like
dissecting the defense, cutting in, getting the easy bucket.
Looks like it was supposed to be Hoskins on the defense, but he seems to be tiring out as he has spent a lot of time on the court.
And Johnson inside throws it back to Stuhlstotz. Stuhlstotz for 3, no good. Under 10 left as the whistle stops it at 7-4 left in the half.
And Hoskins looks to be hurting after the collision between him and Johnson. As it looks like West will just run out the half.
And going into halftime, KMC leading 43-21 over West High. And these two teams will talk things over in the locker room, and we'll see you after the break. Hello and welcome back from our halftime break as KMC leads 43-21 over West. And the Pioneers will start with the ball. Trey Wilson will take it up for the Pioneers.
I think
guarded tightly by Porter.
I think the score doesn't reflect how well this West team has been playing, just not getting shots to fall, but they have played really well as Hoskins is no good.
And Keller moving down the court quickly, no good on the transition layup, but Johnson gets the second chance opportunity. And Hoskins will take it down for West. And Tanner Carter stripped by Dalian. Dalian making it look easy with the layup. And Porter coming back on tight defense, something that he's done all night long.
The Crusaders still keeping a light press on the Pioneers. And I think it could play off the frustration of the loss last week, or Eck just really wants to work on that. As with a lead of 26, it's something that maybe you wouldn't look to be playing so much.
Yeah, KMC not trying to give this lead up. They're trying to fight for every opportunity, every ball, and make West pay for their mistakes.
Yeah, and I think something that the young head coach, Austin Macbeth, is trying to talk to his team about here is just beating that press. I don't know if they were expecting to still see it after the halftime break, but they are. And so I think they're talking about maybe how to work around that, as he has really done a good job leading those young men down on the court for West High so far throughout this game, as they are playing a good level of basketball. This Crusader team just playing at what their usual level is. Definitely a bounce back from their last game, continuing on the success of their 3-1 start.
And West getting it back and forth from player to player, keeping those passes quick. Dalian rips that one out of the hands of Wilson, and Porter no good on the layup. And Laws will take it down to Carrasco. On the spin, out to Hoskins. Hoskins to Laws.
And Laws, the 6'3" junior, somebody that will continue to probably play at a high level for this West team in the next year. Somebody that if you're Cape you want to note walking into next year.
And two players fall. KMC recovers Rocco Keller to Johnson. Back to Keller. And KMC also keeping along the perimeter. Dalian inside. Made a man fall before he gets the basket.
Yeah, and two West defenders ending up on the ground, so interesting to see there.
And Grayson, one thing to note tonight, KMC has not had a single dominant scorer, but a plethora of guys getting those points. We have Porter with 11 tonight, Dalian with 9, and Johnson with 12. All those guys contributing to tonight's dominance.
Yeah, and I think some guy comes out with an injury or is not able to play that night, or is just really not having a good game. You have other guys to look to.
And Keller taking it after the steal. Good on the transition layup. Keller has 4. And Corey Daniels checks in for Blaze Dalian.
And West High will check out 4. We take out number 1, Caleb Mahomes. Number 13, Trail Wilson. Number 20, Anthony Carrasco. And number 12, Christian Laws, all taking a seat. So trying to get some fresh bodies and some fresh energy on the court.
And And Corey Daniels will check in, or will throw the ball in for KMC. And Keller, the pump fake, no good, off the rim, trying to fight for his own rebound. And KMC will retain possession. Johnson check in for KMC. Keller to Johnson. Johnson making a move inside, good, off the backboard. Johnson has 14.
Yeah, and just Johnson was a high scorer for the Crusaders in the past couple of years, his sophomore and junior year being heavily productive for the Crusaders and continuing that here in his senior year. Last year, him and Will Thengval, who graduated after last year, playing basketball currently at the University of Kansas, or Kansas University. So those two were deep threats, and Johnson able to continue his scoring this year.
And off the hands of Jeremiah Matthews, yet West will retain possession. And Matthews on the perimeter. Colby Eck Watkins handling the ball, guarded by Urlacher, into Matthews. Matthews double teamed back out on the perimeter, inside. Miscommunication there from West as that one heads out of bounds.
And a good heads-up play from the freshman Tanner Carter, making the pump fake, making the defender miss, and looking for that inside pass just a little bit off the mark.
And Jeremiah Matthews was trying to get up a shot before the shot clock went out. 1 second left, but he'll be sent to the line for 3 free throw attempts.
And the guy who's still on the bench for the Crusaders, Charlie Barrier, who usually we have seen at this point in the game before, but not checking in at all so far. But Coach Steve Eck has not looked too far into the bench tonight, trying to get his players.
Matthews' second is good. And Mengu will check in for Rocco Keller. And West will make some changes as well. And Matthews knocks down his third. Mengu to check in for KMC. Daniels taking it down for the Crusaders. Surveying the court, driving inside. Daniels off the backboard. Urlacher with the putback, no good. And KMC will check in and retain possession.
Yeah, and that rebound just slipping off the hands of Anthony Carrasco. Just not able to ring it in as Johnson hits the floor hard before the ball is even inbounded. Seems to be a discussion because there's nothing called, but the contact between Hoskins and Johnson. We're just going to continue play, no call.
And Coach Steve Eck speaking with the refs down there. Daniels to Johnson. Johnson making a move out to Porter. And Daniels looking for a shot. Takes the jumper off the rim and rebounded by Laws. Taking the other way is West. And Laws guarded by Mengu. Mengu trying to poke that ball out off to Carrasco. Carrasco yet to score tonight as he fumbles with the ball. and a whistle will be called.
And the Pioneers continue to play at a fast pace. I think there's obviously a lot of basketball left to play on their schedule, and I think that they're a team that are going to pick up quite a few wins. I think they're a team that you can't look over on your schedule. If they can clean up some of the little details throughout their offensive attack, I think that they will be highly successful.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Grayson. This West team came out tonight firing. They're ready to play some basketball. That one out of bounds. Hoskins looked like he thought the ref was one of his teammates. But as I was saying, this West team down the road, if they continue to that pace that they started with, they can pick up wins against Southeast, South, North, some of those teams that KMC did not have a problem with.
And I think it's things like that missed pass, a teammate cuts and the other dude thought he was staying. So I think it's just if they clean those small things up, they are going to be a solid team and a force to be reckoned with. So
yeah, and there's some shots that definitely they could have hit in a different situation, as they missed 3 straight fighting on the ground. And that's Porter, Hoskins, and it looks like Junior Rogers also there on the ground.
Yeah, and just 3 guys fighting for the basketball. As Charlie Barrier will check in for the Crusaders in exchange for Corbin Johnson.
And Stuhlstadt's guardian Hoskins out to Laws. And we haven't seen Laws take too many shots from 3, although he's spent a lot of time outside the perimeter. And that foul coming from Caleb Mahomes. And KMC trying to reset with some new faces on the court. Charlie Barrier out of his hands and out of bounds.
And just a side note, seems that junior number 2 Jude Porter has taken a step off the bench. Seems that he was holding his leg, trying to walk it off, it seems, being attended to by the athletic trainer. It doesn't seem to be anything serious.
Barrier to check in for KMC. Daniels taking up the court. And Barrier trying to get his first points of the night as he recently checked in. Stuhlstadt to Urlacher. Urlacher for 3, his first of the night. Good. And Owen Urlacher has 7.
Now Owen Urlacher, one of the many guys on this Kapaun squad that can hit 3s, as Hoskins with the quick answer. That'll be his 15th point of the game. He has been a key player on all aspects of the ball for Pioneers.
And West, they're finding a lot of their points from the trifecta tonight. A lot of those coming from Hoskins, like you said. But that seems to be the main way that they're getting a large chunk of their points. And the last second shot coming from Mahomes kind of looked rushed there, tossing up a shot.
And Johnson will check in along with number 5, Kyle Kea, the Air Force commit for football. So another Crusader that looks to continue his athletic career in college and at a U.S. military academy. That is a pretty big deal.
Johnson in the paint. That one hit out by Wilson, and Johnson hit the court in a scuffle with Hoskins. The two exchanging some words.
Yeah,
Carrasco to check in for West.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be some frustration building between Hoskins and Johnson, as Johnson has ended up on the ground after or before a play during dead ball periods multiple times.
And Laws rounding the corner, no good on the layup, but he'll get another chance at the line.
Yeah, and Laws is a guy that'd be hard to defend coming down the lane. A big frame to guard. And obviously drawing the contact there, so he will shoot 2.
And Law's first one, no good. He's a nice flick of the wrist on that free throw. And the Law's second is good. He has 6 points on the night.
Yeah, and if you're the West Pioneers, I think your morale can't be too low leaving this one. I mean, you're playing a solid game so far as this third quarter winds out. I mean, they're still putting a lot of pressure on this Kapaun team. I mean, they're playing at a high level. Nothing coming easily for the Crusaders.
And Johnson will get an opportunity for 2. Johnson already with 14 on the night. And Johnson's first, no good.
Yeah, and I think Crusaders are doing a great job on offense, already surpassing their point total from last game. So they had 52 against the Golden Eagles, and their offense obviously being a little more prevalent in this one with 56 here. And I think they still hold a sour taste in their mouth from the loss.
And Daniels resetting his team, looking for an open man, making a move. The spin called for traveling in the end. And although Daniels connected, it proved unfruitful. Last second shot came from Laws, well off the mark. And these two teams will talk things over before they go into the fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, and I think if you're West, I think you just need to continue to push offensively, keep that pace of play up as they have so far all game. On defense, just try to stay in front of the Kapaun offense, whoever you're defending. Just keep your body in front, keep a wide base, and not let anybody blow by easily. I think as long as they do that, they will keep applying the pressure that they have all game to this Crusaders squad. Andrew, what do you take away from this win, coming off the loss against Carroll? What do you take away from this as the Crusaders move forward?
Well, I think Grayson KMC, after a loss, they're finding a way to make things click again. They're hitting those shots when they need to be, and they're getting rebounds and keeping possessions alive a lot of the times. And they're, like we've seen many times, they're hustling on defense. Jew Porter going down, getting some big steals when they need those. And they're putting the pressure on West. And although West fell off from their physical nature that they had earlier in the game, KMC, they've kept that physicality. They've been able to play through adversity. And if you just look at this lead, that is the answer of what this team is made of.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Urlacher driving inside, the spin. Good, as that one bounces in. KMC leading by 30. And Grayson, I don't think there's any chance for an upset tonight. And inside, Mangu fiddling with the ball, but eventually gets that one to go.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think there's a chance for an upset either. But with the Crusaders' success over the past few years, I think that they do have a target on their back. In any game you go into, anybody's looking to gain that title of winning the upset. Obviously, Carroll doing so last week as the three is good for Hoskins. 18 on the night for him.
And some of these Hoskins just been throwing up a shot and saying a prayer. Some of them have been going in. He's had a great shooting performance tonight.
And lots of contact there towards the end of the play. No call. I think the refs have been kind of inconsistent. Some fouls have been really soft. Some have been lots of contact and just no calls letting them play.
And Carrasco comes down with the defensive rebound. Taking the other way is Eck Watkins. And for three, Hoskins, no good. Rebounded by Porter. And Hoskins keeps trying to inject some energy into this offense. Porter off the mark on his jumper. Hoskins hustling down the court, getting to Eck Watkins, over to Carrasco. And Daniels stealing it from him, and Porter good on the transition layup.
And it is a timeout. It'll be a full timeout as we take a break here. Hoskins frustrated heading into the timeout, but I think he is doing a good job at being that senior leader for the Pioneer squad. He's trying to keep the energy alive. Kapaun with double the score of the Pioneers, but I truly will stand by the statement that they have played at a higher level than the score shows. And Kapaun just really doing a good job of bouncing back from the frustration of the Tuesday loss and moving forward. Definitely looks good for the Crusaders. And Andrew, how do you think this Crusader squad and the Pioneer squad will take advantage of kind of the short break that they receive, obviously practice and stuff, but from games, some less scheduling during this Christmas time?
Well, Grayson, I think it's a good reset from, well, the pressure of school and the pressure of the constant games. Now, we've seen going into this break, TMC, they obviously played a game on Tuesday, and they're quickly making that turnaround to now. So these two teams, they won't have to worry about that going into the break. They'll just purely focus on practice and getting better each and every day. That's something that Coach Eck wants to focus on this year with this team, getting better each day and preparing for those playoffs later in the season, trying to get another one in the trophy case.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, any day is just a day to improve. I mean, you just got to go into every day with your full just energy, just try to improve. You know, a team that, like West, who's trying to mutter themselves up to get a win. And I think if they improve every day, like you said, that is definitely possible.
And I think, although this KMC team lost a lot of talent last year, that prize at the end of the season is still obtainable for them. It's still very obtainable, and they know that goal is possible. They have that goal in sight, and we saw tonight. It's going to take a lot for a team to stand in their way, even after a big loss to Carroll on Tuesday. They're able to bounce back and play to the best of their ability.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. With the three from the sophomore Cade Becker, somebody you don't see too often. See over called for the foul. I mean, just got ran over almost there. A lot of force going through that tiny sophomore.
And Carrasco inside, poked away by Daniels. Daniels showing off his dribbling moves, weaving through the defense. And Keller in the corner to Stuhlstotz for three, no good. Rebounded by Laws. And a whistle called.
Yeah, and I think if you're West head coach Austin Beth, you're going to remind your team of all of the good things that they did so far this game, throughout this one. So Crusaders completely changed their lineup. Just to give you a rundown, we have number 0, Melvin Puigwe, number 32, Gabe Adams, number 22, Ryan Carey, number 25, Jackson Gosh, and number 10, Cole Rapp.
And Christian Laws moving inside, no good, but he'll be sent to the line. Laws has 8 on the night. Trying to make it 10.
And Adams will pick up a quick foul as he heads onto the court, kind of like a fee. That was the price he had to pay.
And Laws no good on his first. And the clock continuing to run. Under 2:50 left in the game. And Laws' second connects. Ryan Carey taking up for KMC. And these bench players just getting a piece of the action tonight. Any bit of varsity play is good experience for these guys. Pogue inside, double teamed, gets that one to go with the and one opportunity on the way.
Melvin Pugway doing a great job with the strong finish, finishing through contact. We'll see if he can sink his free throw attempt here. Put him at 3 points for the night.
And Pugway is off the mark. Christian Laws will take it down for West. And we've seen a surprisingly large amount of ball handling from Laws tonight. For a big man, he can move quite gracefully with the ball. And keeping it alive is Laws. Out to him on the perimeter. And Carrasco. And through the legs of Carey, West keeping possession. And Hoskins moving quickly, no good on the floater. Pugway with the rebound.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with what you're saying about Laws. He's filled in more of a point guard role tonight, carrying the ball a lot, facilitating this offense, and as a guy of his frame, not something you see too often.
And a wrap with the pump fake, showing off his moves. He's fouled. And Carrasco will check in for West as they get possession. Under 40 seconds left in the game. West trying to put up some last-second points.
And
Game's leading 67-34.
Cade Becker checking back in for the Crusaders for these last few seconds of the game as the shot clock is no longer. Becker fouling instantly. And all Coach Eck can do is just kind of laugh about that one on the bench. He didn't seem to be too happy. But at the end of the day, you bounce back from a loss with a big win. So I think the Crusaders will come out of this one happy.
Yeah, KMC up by 32. And Carey comes away with the rebound. And final score is 67-35 KMC. Like you said, Grayson, bouncing back from a big loss on Tuesday with a big win. And as these two teams go into Christmas break, we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas here from us at KMC Journalism as we check out for the night. I'm Andrew Guyer.
And I'm Grayson Greer.
And thank you for watching.